How fortunate are we? It's so amazing. Just a week ago, we were saying Merry Christmas. We were talking about Boxing Day, and today it's Happy New Year. We wish you a prosperous 2022. And like we always say, it's from our family to all of yours. It's from the family of the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. Broadcasters par excellence. We're saying a Happy New Year to you. I want to thank you for all your support. Throughout 2021, we ask you to continue to stick with us. We want to continue to justify the confidence that you have reposed in us. And of course, 2022 is an amazing opportunity to take a look at the things that happened in 2021 so we can platform our plans, or you can call them resolutions. We can platform them on the experiences and circumstances that shaped our 2021, especially if we aspire for success. But for now, we're going to break. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Weekend Deal on this first day of the vibrant, productive, exciting year of 2022. And we're going down memory lane. Are you already writing out your New Year resolutions, or you can call them New Year plans? But whatever you call them, you often need to platform your ideas, your plans on the experiences and circumstances that shaped us in 2021. And that's why Francis is taking this very interesting walk down memory lane.
While the beginning of every year comes with celebrations and stock-taking on successes and challenges made in the previous year, it is also a time for renewed hopes and expectations. A time to set goals, resolutions, and expect to meet them by the end of the year. The year 2022 is no different, as Nigerians are expecting better delivery from elected officials.
The major political event that happened in 2021 was the elections in Anambra State. What is the connection between the direct primaries that were held in Anambra State and the outcome of the general elections? APC did direct primaries and they had over 300 and something thousand people participate in the so-called direct primaries. But at the end of the day, their candidate did not get up to more than 50,000 at the general elections. So are the direct primaries actually a reflection of the ideal that we're talking about? I think we need to begin to look at the correct issues. Look at the direct primaries that held in Lagos during Sanwo-Olu versus Ambote. Over 3 million people came out. But in the general election, it's about 600 and something thousand people that voted for. So are we really, not fooling ourselves by claiming that the direct primaries are better than the indirect primaries? Each of them are subject to manipulation. It depends on how it is manipulated. The major events that happened in politics in Nigeria in 2021, again, were the conventions, the congresses and conventions of PDP, and that of APC up to the state level, and we're waiting for them. The PDP thing seems to have done their own rancor-free, but it wasn't rancor-free. They just bottled up the rancors. They will erupt. They will erupt. The APC, the rancors are open, and we believe that the APC is not doing enough to reconcile all the contending movements.
Just when some Nigerians thought that the coronavirus would have expired, The year 2021 saw new variants of the virus, namely Delta and Omicron variants. How did we handle the pandemic in 2021?
I noticed that we have been mercifully saved from the massive death and miseries that other countries are facing. Even though our vaccination level is very low. As at this morning, I checked, we had only succeeded in vaccinating about 14 point something million Nigerians. And that is abysmal compared to our population of over 200 million.
Agriculture remains the backbone of the Nigerian economy. Consequently, President Muhammadu Buhari has vowed to ensure Nigeria achieve food sufficiency under his administration. How has the journey been so far?
As far as government policy is concerned, we have done well, but the implementation of that policy leaves much to be desired. The most ironic of it is that as our production increases, in quantum in certain areas, so also has the prices of foodstuff increased. So as far as the ordinary people are concerned, until the prices crashes down and is affordable by everybody, our production level does not amount to much. Now we have another misfortune of bandits determining whether people in the northwest go to the farms or not. So the net effect of this will mean that we will have a serious, shortfall in food production.
All over the world, meaningful development cannot take place in an atmosphere of chaos and anarchy. Thus, a secured environment is necessary for peace and sustainable development. Despite the challenges of 2021, Nigerians are optimistic of a better new year as well as an improved security in 2022. The responsibility of nation building is not for government alone. All hands must be on deck towards making Nigeria greater and better in 2022.
2022 will represent the commencement of our 4-year election cycle, where majority of the elective offices will be up for grabs. That will determine 2022 to a large extent. From January, the speed with which political activities will begin to take effect will drown virtually every other thing. Some of the governors are going for their second term. They will be very, vicious about getting their second term, and they may neglect governance. A lot of the governors who are on their second term will also lose their immunity. So they will be interested in who becomes the president so that they don't become regular guests at AFCC and ICPC.
Our focus on Weekend Deal today will be a review of 2021. What were the success stories of 2021? What were the challenges and what areas do we need to improve upon? Weekend Deal!
What were the successes of 2021? What were the challenges that Nigeria and its citizens faced? Were there any? But what is important is that to move forward to attain success and our goals and aspirations this 2022, all hands must be on deck. Let's journey to Lagos, to the educational television, where they're taking a look at the economy 2021. Tell us more.
A strong economy is eventually the source of national strength. When an economy of a country grows, it gains the capacity and resources needed to provide the public with goods and services that its citizens need. It might interest you to know that the policy of import ban is definitely one of the events that have shaped the economy in 2021. This policy prohibits importation of goods of items that ranges from food products and other items. It is clearly a trade of policy regime that seeks to protect existing local industries and reduce the country's perceived dependence on imports. As a result, prices of these products are higher in the local markets, and this seems to have a negative impact on consumers who have fewer varieties to choose from and have to pay more.
It's actually boosted the agricultural sector in Nigeria. Like, it give Nigeria, okay, we can produce our own local rice at this tone, but government still have to improve on it.
Banning of rice is good. The only thing is that it has to be done in phases, not that just outright banning of rice like that. It will affect the population because people depend on all those stable food.
Beyond this, there are likely more policies that shape the country in 2021.
So one of the applaudable policies and reforms that the federal government had taken upon themselves to act on immediately was the prevention of Boki FX from being the determinant of the exchange rate of a country.
The reasonable levels of borrowing in developing countries like Nigeria is likely to enhance its economic growth as long as the borrowed funds for productive investments do not suffer from macroeconomic instability. Growth is expected to increase and allow for timely debt payments.
Our government should just think about it. We have many resources in Nigeria that we can use instead of us going outside.
The borrowing it doesn't bring any positive answer or results to the Nigerian economy.
At this point, the searchlight is on the ease of doing business. There has been consistent progress over the last 6 years, which acclaimed rankings from 170 and 169 in 2014 and 2015 respectively. But of what use is ease of doing business ranking in Nigeria when businesses are refusing to come to Nigeria or leave the country for other nearby countries?
The ease of doing business in the country. Government has at various times tried to say that they have tried to put in ease of doing business. Ease of doing business include, how well the tax favorability for investors. How well can investors come in and invest in terms of acquisition of land, in terms of acquisition of various things that are needed to support the local industry.
Because of the high level of inflation, business is becoming very difficult. Now you can tender on anything to buy items. At the time those things will be executed, the prices have changed. And because the prices have changed, automatically when you buy your own, in an attempt to sell it, you have to add your own price to it. That is the major cause of unstable price system in the country. Let's put the right people in the right places. Now you will say somebody is the head of NEPA. Maybe the guy read history and is going to be handling engineering project. It will not work. A situation where a tail is made to lead the head, nothing will go. Things should be done in the right way.
Therefore, there is need to improve democratic governance in Nigeria as this will enable sustainable development of economic growth.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? We're still talking about doing things the right way. If we're diligent, if we're honest, we already know that Nigerians are resilient and we have a very uncommon never say die attitude. To add that to other exceptional qualities, and we can't begin to imagine the leaps and bounds that Nigeria will take. Happy New Year to you once again. We have a family friend with us. Has been our friend for many years through several appointments and is here today to mark this very exceptional and unique day with us. Happy New Year, Dr. Umar Bender.
Mielini on Khairu. This is a phrase in Fulfulde to say, I wish you a happy new year.
Fantastic. We know a lot about what he's been doing in the past down memory lane. He's been an SSG in Adamawa State, but right now he's a special assistant to the president and the national coordinator of the National Social Investment Program. That is not all. This is the Baban Mufti
Of
Adamawa Emirates. Oh, covered on all fronts. And of course, he's a member of the academia. You know, he lectured in many universities. So any area will go, Dr. Umar Bende will be resolute and unshaken in his accurate information that he'll be giving us here today. Great to have you with us.
It's a pleasure. Good morning.
Something phenomenal happened yesterday. The budget was assigned. What do we interpret that to mean in terms of looking ahead into a vibrant 2022?
Well, budgets traditionally is a compendium of numbers, specifically numbers of cash to be spent on a number of interesting things for any country. And our president assented to the budget, indicating that this document is now law. You have to, all the MDAs have to follow it like a little Bible. Every statement there has to be complied with, otherwise you break the law. And the impressive tradition that the president have brought onto the table of ensuring that budgets, that law, is actually literally enacted to take advantage of 12 months of implementation is very, very impressive.
There was one area where the president talked about the National Assembly. Some things were introduced, that new ideas.
Yes, yes. You see, if you look at all countries, you have three critical areas to actually sustain your development. You have the political and leadership cluster that powers your knowledge system, your zeal to be independent and to work, that moves to industry, to be productive, to be visible. And these three clusters must connect together for you to sustain your growth. Now, at the political level where the president sits, right, the leadership, it has again the four levels: the political, the economic, the moral, and the technical. Meaning, political is the leader. Everybody is trying to showcase that I have a constituency. I will move this constituency to the next level. It's my last lap. And therefore, what happened is that this checking system where the executive plans the budget, puts the numbers in a document, passes it to the legislation to check so that it becomes law, and the two, as you saw, the president and the Senate president and the Speaker of the House come together, and the assenting is a ceremony. So what the president was saying is that, well, I planned and I sent it to you, and in an attempt to interact with the MDAs to understand what they have planned, how much they are going to spend, you panel beat some few things. You removed some of my plans and you put yours when, in actual sense, you are just supposed to check and let me know. So he's saying, well, I have noted that. I've noted you've removed some of mine. I've noted you put yours, because they're trying to be part of the legacy, the end of administration packet. So, and he's saying, well, I'm going to endorse it now so that I don't distort my full year implementation strategy because of these additions and subtractions. However, I'm going to come back to you with a number of, let's take this out, let's readjust this, and so on. So this is just, like, not a warning, but just Mr. President's traditional transparency, attribute. So let's get on with it. Let's the MDA start implementing, but I'm going to come back legally and transparently.
Interesting. But what we see that gladdens the heart of many Nigerians is a synergy. I send to you, you send back. There's a sanction from both sides. We're talking together. We're communicating. We are cooperating. And when those at the helm of affairs are cooperating and synergizing, Nigerians can sit a bit more comfortably because they know that they are working together in their best interests.
I think this is part of the Nigerian dream of gradually getting the maturity in control. The president has no time of, fighting and saying, oh no, padding, I'm going to throw this book. You see the maturity. Okay, you've had something with some reasons. I have submitted things with some reasons. We've come together. We have a book now as Nigerians. And okay, let's get going. We will come back to the table again and then be able, but it is all legal. You see, the good thing about the president is that every step he takes, he makes sure that it's a legal step. There's no, hustling and bustling about it. And you saw that. He didn't sit and assent to this. He invited the Senate President, who is the leader of 109 senators, representing every single Nigerian. He invited the Speaker of the House of Reps, who is the leader of 360 members, representing all of us. Literally, the whole of the country is represented at the Ascension ceremony. So as you said, this is a plus, and Nigerians should celebrate this progress, in my opinion.
I like this year, the legacy budget for the legacy year. But hold those thoughts. We're coming back. We're going to Ibadan now. Another journey. Still taking a very integral look at 2021 for Nigeria. Platforming our experiences on that for a more successful 2022. NTA Ibadan, please tell us more.
The commencement of commercial operation on the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge railways remains one of the major landmark achievements of government in the southwestern part of the country in the outgone year. The year 2021 may have come and gone, but the reality is that the year will certainly not be forgotten in a hurry because of numerous challenges that almost overwhelm all aspects of human endeavors. As a result of COVID-19 induced disruption to socio-economic status of the people and the shrinking income of government at all levels, doing business became more difficult and endangered.
Those that are not familiar with the international system will think that Nigeria is the only country that is going through this harsh moment that we see. It is a global problem because the Sahel is said to be a global axis of evil, where you have mass foreign fighter inflows, you have massive arms inflow, you have problems in the Sahel, and Nigeria is part of that geopolitical entity. So from Sahel, we have foreign fighters coming in to side with Boko Haram, to fight with the so-called bandits. And then COVID-19, I think, compounds the problem in terms of limiting our ability to creatively manage our security problem as we should, and then taking off some of our financial resources for managing our problems.
With lots of challenges here and there, the outgoing year 2021 could be described as a litmus test for government, which requires the need to think out of the box to be able to meet up with its responsibility to the citizenry. How did government fare in tackling some of these problems?
We discovered that the economy is still much dependent on oil. We have not been able to diversify the economy to other areas, particularly infrastructure, agriculture, where we are supposed to have a comparative advantage than other countries.
The present government have tried so far, but I disagree a little bit in terms of allowing parents not to have a say in the education of their parents, in the education of their children, in terms of putting something into the education sector.
The only thing that I know, and as a result of a member of my family that worked with Oyo State, is that workers' pay has been improved. In the last 1 year, workers are better paid. They receive their pay before the end of the month, and I was told that there is an arrangement to pay them 13th month salary. But beyond that, I must confess that I don't have any evidence that I can use to answer this question.
Monetary support that they are giving people, citizens, without knowing. I knew of some who that benefited and did not know anybody. They put in online, submit everything, put in their proposal, and their accounts were credited. Aside that, federal government also went into individuals, NGOs, to support the citizen. But most people will just take and keep quiet.
Obviously, the economic climate in the country during the year indicates that there's still a long way to go in view of the rising unemployment, high prices of goods and services, plus decreasing disposable incomes among many Nigerian households.
So we need to sit down and ask ourselves, what do we need to change with our economy? What do we need to change in our politics? What do we need to change in our social relationship? And when we ask ourselves, what do we need to change? Then we now begin to say, okay, how do we change them? And I think this will generate positive recommendations that the government now can take to the implementation stage.
Nigeria's economic potential is well known, but not much has been realized of these potentials. Now that the year 2021 has given way to a new year, it is another fresh opportunity to take advantage of the potentials to launch the country onto the path of sustained and rapid growth, which every citizen will be proud of.
Thank you, NTA Badan. We got a front seat. A front seat on the happenings of Ibad in your state in 2021. We want to thank you for this opportunity. You're watching Weekend Deal, our special New Year edition, where we are talking with Dr. Umar Bende. Dr. Umar Bende is Special Assistant to the President and the National Coordinator of the National Social Investment Programme. He's also the Baban Mufti of Adamawa Emirates.
Yes.
And now we're looking at insecurity in Nigeria. Some time back when I had a chat with you, you gave me a local intelligence angle. Will that still hold sway now? How did we fare in 2021? What can we do differently in 2022?
Well, you see, if you are a foreigner, let's say you are a Briton and you are coming to Nigeria, or a foreigner from anywhere, you are interested to come to this great country and take advantage of the opportunities. Naturally, you will ask people, how is Nigeria? And there's an office in Britain called the Commonwealth Travel Advice Office. They give you travel advice. And when you talk to them, they give you a map of Nigeria. They color code the Northeast, all the 6 states, red. The code is, don't go to this area, they'll kill you. Then they color code some few more states in amber color, yellowish color, including Benue and Sokoto and so on and so forth. And then they say, this amber color is that unless if it is absolutely necessary, don't go to this area. Unless your mother is dying, don't go. And then the rest of the country has greenish color. And they say, to go to this, get more travel advice from us. So meaning, our whole country, the picture that is seen out of this country is that it is not a secure country. It is a dangerous country, so to say. However, when you check back in 2014, 2015, when bombs are exploding in markets, people are being shot sporadically, and so on and so forth, to now, when we're talking about community kind of, people are moving into communities, beating people up, killing 1 or 2 people, stealing food, and so on and so forth, you know that it has improved. It has changed from war to now societal security. Now, to me, there are 2 groups that controls territory in this country by either law or our acceptance. The first is the political system. The president's constituency is the whole country, him and the vice president. You go below him, you have the governors. The governors and the deputy governors, their constituency is their state. They control these states. You drop down to the local government. The local government chairman and the vice chairman, that their constituency is the local government. Then you have other additional leadership. The senators have their own constituency as a senate, composed of several local governments. House of Reps, another constituency, and so on and so forth. Now you see, the other side of the territorial control is the traditional system. Every inch of this country has traditional leadership. If you take like Adamawa State, for example, where I'm from, the Adamawa State has 8 first-class emirs and chiefs. They have total control of their emirates and chiefdoms. Below them, you have the district heads that are assisting them. Each district head is actually control a district. It's an area. Below those district heads, you have the village heads. Each village head is control that village. And then below the village heads, you have the ward heads. In Hausa, you call them the Mayangwas. Each Mayangwa controls that territory. Amazingly, there is no Mayangwa anywhere, at least I know in the north, that does not know the name in his Angwa, the name of the people. So they will say, Thelma Obaze. The Mayangwa will say, is that not the daughter of Obaze? She has 2 children. Their house is behind that big tree. That is how the intelligence is. Now imagine, Thelma, you have somebody like that who knows everything. And then a foreigner from somewhere comes to live in this area, selling wee-wee and drugs, raping girls for 10 years, and nobody knows? You know it's not possible. It means something is missing. And what I think is missing is that this Mayangwa has to be empowered to speak, to monitor, and to document. He should connect to his own village head to say, look, this is my observation in Mayangwa. What do we do? Then the village head should go up to the district head. This is what is happening in our village until it reaches the territorial emirate or chiefdom leader. And that should connect to the political leadership. I was secretary to the government. I was also the secretary of the Security Council. I set up this system that all the 8 emirates and chiefs respond monthly to me, telling me what is happening at their grassroots. These are the grassroots leadership. This is what sets my agenda for security in the Security Council. So, but unfortunately, while the political side, the elected side, they have office, they have cars, they have money, and so on and so forth, they are budgeting, the traditional side is very, very weak.
It's not so with the political side.
Not, yeah.
Wow. I want to come back and learn more about what the outcome was of your liaison at that time and what we can look forward to if we imbibe that or inculcate that in many other areas of our great country, Nigeria. But for now, let's journey to Rivers State. Rivers State people, we know about you. You're vibrant and very productive. Tell us about the journey in 2021.
I don't know Port Harcourt again. From Rumo, Okoro, around everywhere, flyover.
The end of every year comes with a lot of celebrations, reflections, and evaluation on the outgoing year by individuals, corporate organizations, and government at various levels. Rivers State experienced an eventful 2021 with accompanying achievements which cut across the socio-political and economic spheres, and others not too pleasant.
Generally speaking, I would say that some sectors actually were very successful. Some sectors also had challenges. The coronavirus pandemic still has impact on economic activities, on social activities, and even political activities.
Life has not been easy for the most vulnerable in the society. And that has, in a way, forced a number of people to think twice on their various lifestyles and life engagement. One good thing about this situation is that Nigerians are beginning to move from being more in consumption to be more in production.
The current market situation now, you discover that things are so expensive. You know, we are experiencing galloping inflation virtually in all commodities. You can imagine 1 kg of gas that we usually buy 234 naira, it now goes for 680, some goes for 800 naira. The federal government, needs to look into this and to see how they can regulate all these things.
So the year 2021 will remain a year most citizens of the state will not forget in a hurry. From the turmoil of the COVID-19 pandemic to a massive construction of infrastructural development which cuts across almost the 23 local government areas of the state.
We thank God Almighty for giving us a leader like Ezeboye Sowike. A leader that have proven to us that 10 bridges can be built and commissioned under 1 year, and all those commissioning we have done in this 2021. It's a great deal. For the great work we have done for them, they are proud, they are happy. That every day thing today in the local government is happening well. Carnival, celebration, left, right, and people are excited. That is the beauty of governance.
Port Harcourt is bright, and there's sign of development and achievement by the government. They have started paying pension. Let him pay gratuity. Let them look after us. Pensioners, we have served with our youth. Now that we are old, let them help us.
In the course of the year, the soot menace, which became conspicuous in 2016, has continued to elicit concern. Studies show that the soot is cancerous and it is associated with oil and gas exploration activities. And the citizens are calling on the state and the federal government to intervene. On the other hand is the issue of perennial flooding, which has continued to ravage and pose a major challenge to people in some parts of the state.
The suit is something we cannot talk about today. We don't know the impact by tomorrow. By year 2027, 2028, I think we are not safe as at now if it is not controlled.
The truth is that the illegal process will not stop until the modular refineries are approved, and they can now use those modular refineries to do their work, to create more products, because the regular refineries are not working.
It went from the heartbreaking ordeals to a more fascinating story. In 2021, the state recorded huge successes in the entertainment industry as high-profile events were hosted in the state. These events boosted the economy of the state with massive influx of people from all walks of life to share and experience the peaceful ambience of the people.
It is important to note that in 2021, 2 Nigerians from the entertainment industry brought us international recognition, applause, and award with the Grammys, notably Burna Boy and Wizkid. And I know that this year, many more are going to happen. You're watching Weekend Deal, and this is what we're bringing forth. You know, there's always great news on the show. And this one is no exception. We have our cake to tell you how pleased we are to have you keep our company. Continuing again from 2021 with this cake is all presented here. Okay. Please wrap up quickly on security and then let's go to social development programs.
Well, yeah. So that model, we tested it in Adamawa State. We designed a template for the Mayanguas. Every single day he will report on a number of indices. And this information goes to the village heads, to the district heads, to the chief, and to the government. By doing that and maintaining that database of all the Mayanguas, I have the whole data of the political and the traditional. We dropped insecurity, particularly of this primitive community insecurity, from something like 68% to 2%. The governor could call a Mayangwa to anywhere in the state and be able to gist about security or whatever. We were motivating our population by talking to them directly. Imagine a Mayangwa sitting under a tree and the governor calls him. We had all their names, all their telephone numbers, all their locations, and then we advised that the local government chairman should also have their security council really with content. I used to train them on how to build agendas, how to write minutes, how to write reports. And I can tell you, it worked. And I think even Mr. President was in Adamawa State when we did the anti-corruption summit, and he believed that we should actually consolidate this and make it a national package.
Interesting. Wow. We look forward to that. Let's talk about social development programs. We had something called the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan that evolved into the National Development Plan. But besides this, let's talk about others. How are these plans working to bring about increased productivity within the Nigerians that are providing the services for?
Well, all these plans actually rotate on 3 things. And this is global. And I think our president is a very creative and very innovative old man who is putting all this together. First, you have to conquer your absolute poverty. You cannot have a peaceful, united, and vibrant country when a lot of people cannot drink clean water. They have waterborne diseases. Many people cannot live in nice shelter, whatever. They are always dreaming of snakes and somebody following them with a dagger. People are not eating good food. They are not strong enough to deliver. Women cannot go to healthcare facilities to deliver safely so that we bring the maternal and child mortality and so on and so forth. You can't. So the poverty has to be conquered. And in this country, when Mr. President came in, poverty levels was above 60%. He managed to drop it to 40, 43 or whatever, and still working. That is one. When you are doing these basic needs, the second thing is that you must create a vibrant middle class. People that have skills, using their skills to actually do things, doing things to get something. And I have not seen any country where people know things and they're baking cakes, they're making chairs, they're doing camera and so on and so forth, getting a bit of money in their pocket, go home in the evening, have dinner, and still turn around to go and say, let's go and kill people after that. Sure. No, it doesn't happen. So again, that is the middle second level. And Mr. President is looking at that too. The final level is that you have to build institutions. You have to build institutions to outlive you. Your education system should be crispy so that you are producing the critical mass of knowledgeable people to solve your problem. Your legal system is mature so that you are resolving things. Your political system should be matured so that you're electing people and so on and so forth. All these three are actually the matrices for the plans, you know. And part of that plan is the National Social Investment Programme, which is now consolidating the efforts of Mr. President and the administration on the poverty level. And, you know, under the Social Investment Program, we have now learned on how to mop up the young people, whether they have gone to school or not to school, engage them, build their skills, ensure that they get credit through another skill to actualize this, you know. And then we are doing the school feeding program to ensure that we reduce the number of out-of-school children so that they stay in school, so that they learn. And we're doing conditional cash transfer, which people don't understand. But my mother, you know, knows how to extract oil out of groundnuts. She can make Dudu Ocean soap. She can weave things, but she doesn't have money. If you give that woman 1,000 naira, you change her if you're talking to her to become an entrepreneur. That is what the conditional cash transfer is all about. Now, over the years, we have learned a lot of, this is very difficult. If it was easy, most countries would have done it. But Nigeria is not good at celebrating success. The Social Investment Program have learned how to identify young people, how to attach them to get skills, how to ensure that this skill works, how to ensure that we reduce the out-of-school children. And imagine, the National Bureau of Statistics said, we have between 20 to 30 million graduates that are unemployed.
Interesting.
If you are to take 1 million and you are paying them the stipend of 30,000 per month, in 10 months, it's a 300 billion naira bill. So it's expensive. And it is the recurrent, you know, it's every month you pay. So sometimes, you know, when they look at the National Social Investment Program, they say, oh, no, they have too much money. The money actually is so small and it's required. And also, they think, oh, they are keeping the money. It's budgeted, but you pay monthly, you know. And so we have learned, we are prepared, and Mr. President is strengthening the program to ensure that this poverty is conquered before he leaves.
Interesting. We look forward to that. We want to say a big thank you to you for the way you have articulately brought forth this information, gives us a clearer picture of what really is happening. And we hope when we tell others, as you have told us, they too will have a clearer picture of where Nigeria is going. We are a great and vibrant country, and we can do better because we're working towards a better and more productive nation. I have had the pleasure on this New Year Day of talking with Dr. Umar Bende. Dr. Umar Bende, besides being a friend of the family, a friend of the house, he is the Special Assistant to the President and the National Coordinator of the National Social Investment Program. And I will not forget, because I learned from that, is the Baba Mufti of Adamawa Emirates. Thank you for coming. We'll see more of you in the new year, no doubt. You're watching Weekend Deal. A break beckons. Don't you dare go anywhere. We'll be back.
It's all in the air and it's all in my heart. The feeling of anticipation. Let the songs and cheering out everywhere in celebration.
Some go there fry chin, some go there fry meat, some go there cook jollof. Me, I go shop potato with decorations everywhere, making it very clear.
It's the season and a reason to turn your frown upside down. It's the season and a reason to spread love and joy all around. Merry Christmas. It's the season and a reason to turn your frown upside down. It's the season and a reason to spread love and joy all around.
Compliments of the season, a very Merry Christmas and a most glorious New Year from all of us in NTA.
You're watching Weekend Deal. It's New Year, January 1st, 2022. There's been a countdown the world over, but we're taking off with what happened in Abuja.
I want to see you touch light to the air like that. We're going to use our touch light for the countdown. Everybody say 2 minutes! 2 minutes! Yes, 2 say 2 minutes! 2 minutes! I said I leave up. No folks cannot keep up. We each other going non-stop. Zazu, she, Aka, Ika. That's so true. That's so true. Vitalaga. Gaza. It's a little bit of a chat.
once again with lots of exciting fireworks. Now it's time to look at the fireworks that the entertainment industry made locally and internationally in 2021.
If one standing ovation is being given to various sectors for their 2021 achievements, the Nigerian music industry perhaps deserves to clear everything on the table for an amazing 2020. Trooped out across major cities of the country to get a feel of music acts like Johnny Drill, Miyokun, Thames, Adekunle Gold, Tiwa Savage and Burna Boy at their respective concerts during the Christmas holiday season. Even Wizkid got a feel of an extreme fan love in Abuja during his concert. These music acts are not just enjoying massive love locally, but internationally as well. Call it a global phenomenon, thanks to the growing digital culture that allows their music to travel beyond their immediate community.
They say love is blind, but how they see her for a while.
One cannot be talked about without mentioning awards. Aside from the awards that took place in the country, internationally, we proved our worth and relevance with big wins from the Soul Train Awards, Mobile Awards, MTV Europe Music Awards to the 2022 Grammy nominations. Recall that Burna Boy's Twice as Tall album won the Best Global Music Album for the 2021 Grammys for his Made in Lagos album, facing strong competition from the likes of Femi and Made Kuti's Legacy, plus Angelique Kidjo's Mother Nature. Grammys as his creative collaboration with American singer Beyoncé on Brown Skin Girl off the Lion King project earned him a Best Music Video win in 2021.
I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me.
All of these came at the appropriate time when the industry has been having strong conversations since April 2021 when the music industry welcomed the birth of Afrobeats. The backstory, which chronicles the birth and rise of Africa's biggest genre and how it came to be one of Africa's biggest international exports. What the industry enjoys today, especially the Afrobeats, has a foundational link to the legendary Fela Kuti, who also got nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021, the first ever African nominee. The growth of our music in 2021 will definitely open more investments this year. Even the return of the duo of Peter and Paul Okoye, P-Square, will spark off more business opportunities as brands will likely tap into their reunion and event organizers across the continent will make them headline acts for their events. Should we also expect a possible comeback of the Plantation Boys, who also performed at a concert in Benue State last December? Music stars all around the world make headlines with all kinds of news. In 2021, music star Tiwa Savage made news with a sex scandal that created conversations online for days.
I was leaving a radio station. I'm in my car. My road manager sends me a message. He's like, yo, check your phone. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I check it and there's a video. And I'm just like, whoa.
But that scandal actually had no negative effect on the promotion of when and if the likes of Wizkid follows the track record of Burna Boy with a Grammy win for the same category, it will spark off conversations about Nigeria and the Afrobeats, and the country will remain the center stage for the biggest music export in Africa.
Me, Arola Shafe of the Sweetheart House of Cakes. Courtesy her, we have this here.
This is to celebrate the Nigeria's creativity and innovation in support of Mr. President for his leadership, in support of the DG of NTA for informing the public, and in celebrating Nigeria. Here we go.
Happy New Year! From our family to yours, God bless Nigeria. From all of us.
Thank you. Give us a Nigeria thumbs up.